Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to take a look at our Urban Worm Bag version 2 that has the European night crawlers in it. So yesterday we just did an update on the trash can system. We added only one container of food instead of the two, as there was still some food left in there, and it seemed like there were some fruit flies as well. I still haven't created a fruit fly trap for that, but I will. And then with our Urban Worm Bag back here, I do have a fruit fly trap in there. I think there were a couple of fruit flies last time. Not too worried about them. There wasn't a whole lot, but we're going to keep these traps going and make sure that everything works. And then on the Verma bag, which I'll update tomorrow, that one we added pine shavings to as well to see if that kind of taps down on those. I noticed that my pine shaving bin just did not have the fruit fly bugs really in it, or even the fungus gnats that the other bins did. And I wonder if the pine shavings they're kind of hard, and they kind of, like, even in my fingers, I noticed that if I really squeeze them, I could dig in and to my skin. I wonder if that sort of prevents them from going in there, or they damage the larva in some way. So with that, I just want to remind everyone, I do have links down below if you're looking to purchase any of these systems or any of the products that I use. And with that, let's get on to the Urban Worm Bag and take a look at how it's doing. Alright, here we are with the Urban Worm Bag. It has been 17 days since our last update, so we're cutting this under that 3-week mark here. There's a fungus gnat on top there. Let's go ahead and open this up. Take a look. A little bit of moisture in the top here, as you can see right there. Looks like one fruit fly just came out. Not seeing too much over here as far as action as with the bugs, which is good. So let's go ahead and start digging in here and taking a look. First off, I do want to say I see some stuff growing right over here. Actually, I do see a couple fruit flies in here now. Hopefully we'll see them slowly dissipate. Let's take out this this thing right here. This is our little fruit fly trap. I do think these work really well. Highly recommend them. This one probably should be refreshed at some point with some fresh. Yeah, it kind of smells a little bit. I have to refresh that too. Probably not bringing in the bugs like it used to, which is why we're starting to see some in here. But that's okay. I'll refresh it at another time. Little worm right on top of here, but as you can see over here in this corner, I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit more. Let's pull it down just a little bit. In this corner right over here, we've got some stuff growing. I'm not sure what this is. Probably peppers, if I had to guess. I think we did throw the peppers over there. In fact, I almost guarantee that was the case, which is why we're starting to see them grow. But let's just go ahead and dig over here in this section. Actually, let's start on this side. So here we go. Tons and tons of little pepper plants in here, and worms. Look at that. So they're in here. They're doing a good job. We got the pepper plants. We got some worms. And we're just going to bury those back in. We've got our corn cob still over here as well. So, you know, it's one of those things where those take a while to break down, which is fine. We can just leave them in there. We're just going to scrape this top section off here a little bit. Just like that. Let's see what we can find here in our soil. First off, this is looking really good, and it does have like a lemony scent to it, I guess, or maybe citrus smell to it. I think we did have, if I remember right, we had some clementine peels and stuff like that. Again, here's another corn on the cob. Look at these worms, though. Nice, big, healthy worms. They look like they're starting to really go to town on the corn on the cob there. Let's just dig over here. And again, you can see they've already really done a great job on this lower section. They're starting to work on this upper section. You can really see the division here and how it looks by this handful. So you can see we got this top, but then this bottom side just looks great. They're still getting at some of the cardboard in there, but they're doing a great job of working all through the soil in here. Most of the food looks like it's been gone or picked through. We do have a couple coffee grounds in here, which is normally the case. We got another one right over here as well. Looks like a bunch of looks like some mites and some pot worms on there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but break that apart as well. Just kind of spread them around in there. But overall, this looks like they're doing a great job of getting rid of that. Most of this was gone, except for those difficult stuff, the corn on the cob here. This stuff takes a long time to break down. So we'll go ahead and move this back over, and we'll go to the other side. See how they're doing over here. A little bit more. There we go. First off, we do have some coffee grounds right here. But let's just go right over here. This is where I'm curious about. See a lot of worm activity going on right on top here. We got some of this green paper in here. This is from some flyers that I had printed out for something. So I have a few chunks of that in here. But look at that! Look at that guy go! Wow, moving along right along there. No food really over there except for those coffee grounds. Looks like there were some of these like pieces of shell. I thought that there might have been more food over there, but it's really just pieces or chunks that were left over of the skin. Again, not much going on here. It looks like it's pretty much all been chewed through. So let's dig over here. Same thing. Looks like this is really working out well. So these guys are still chewing through this food. Let's just check the center here. And again, you can see this layering, this beautiful layering that we've got here. Nice and dark, and then it comes up to the surface where they've really not finished the stuff off yet. And you can see right there, I think those are pine shavings that we had. Those are taking a little longer to break down. But that's okay, we can get those out at the end too. That's perfectly fine. They'd go in my soil. Worms look nice and healthy. Good coloring and everything. They look like they're moving very well. A lot of young worms, it looks like. This one doesn't look like a full mature European nightcrawler yet, or that one. So we're getting some younger worms in here too. This is a great sign, great looking bin. And let's go ahead and spread all this back out again. Give these worms a chance to dig in, and then we're going to put on a new layer. And I keep saying I'm going to harvest this, but I've been trying to fill this up. We're still a good 6 inches from the top maybe. I've been really trying to get up to that. I wanted to really get a little closer to the top there before we filled it in. But we're going to add in a lot of food this time. I actually have something a little bit different. Because I've been trying to empty out some of this stuff. This actually has some stuff stuck to the bottom of it here first. I'm going to try to scrape that off first. There we go. We got some carrot on the bottom. Figure if there's any worms on the surface now, they're going to start digging in quick. They've got the light. These worms don't like light. And then we're going to go ahead and dump this in. There we go. Actually, that released all the stuff on the bottom too. All right. There we go. Now this right here, we've got some, look at this, avocado, got lettuce, some clementine, lots of banana peels as usual. I know somebody gave me a recipe for cooking banana peels. I don't know if I'm really into that. I know it would be hard to convince other people in my house to probably eat them. But look at this, all right. Got a pepper in here. So with those pepper plants, you might see some more of those in here. This stuff has been sitting in my freezer for a while, by the way. This is on the bottom shelf, and I tend to do first in, first out. So the last thing I put in, well, I should say, I guess it was last in, first out. So the last thing I'm putting in is the first thing I take out instead of doing it in the order that I actually put it in there. So this stuff has been sitting in there for quite a while. We got an apple core right here. Again, lots of coffee grounds. These maybe I've thawed a couple times, so maybe they're a little softer here. A little easier to open, which is good. That means the worms will be able to get in there a little bit easier. Now here comes, though, the big difference. This is a full clementine, by the way. Can't really break that apart. Hopefully they'll be able to get in there. But here comes the big difference of what we're doing this time. I actually have, somehow this ended up with a big bag of stuff. So, and I think what happens is, I can, whoops, some of it over the side there, but these are artichoke peels. I think I had in a bag, and eventually I piled some more stuff in there and some more stuff in there, and these are usually pretty tough, but this is something I want to try to also get rid of in here. We do eat artichokes every once in a while. Big fan of artichokes. If you've never tried them before, you want to find some fresh ones and really try them. They're really, really great food to eat. So as you can tell, there's lots of ice in here because this has been sitting in there for a while. It's sort of, I don't want to say thawed, but you just get a lot of more ice buildup on these open bags. But this has a lot of food in it, you can see. And oh, we got this big broccoli stem here too. I didn't even notice that. So a lot of food in here. It's ready to go and be covered up. Now, what's our next thing we're going to do? Of course, we're going to add some of our crushed crab and eggshell. I'm going to put on my mask here. Again, I'm going to start emphasizing people wear masks when they do this stuff. I wasn't for a while, but I've gotten much better at it. So here we go right here. We're going to add in a lot of this dust right here. There's a lot of food in here, and I like to make sure that they get a lot of grit to consume their food. So that looks like a good amount of grit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add in our paper. This is pre-moistened paper with our bedding that has the It's just shredded cardboard. And we've got some of the dunks on it for the water, the BTI mixed dunk. So it's in one of these large containers that I do every time. It's pre-moistened. There's a little bit of water that's going to pour out of there. Jammed in there a little bit. Look at this. We're finally this might be the next time we open this up. I should probably start getting ready to harvest this. All right. There we go. All right, let me just scrape out this barrel here. I have to say, this system is working incredibly well. The worms look incredibly healthy. And this goes through a lot of food, which is what I'm really looking for in these systems. Is to be able to just churn through the food that I have. I'm adding a lot of food to these systems. And these worms are able to keep up with it once they build up in population. And you got to do this slowly. You can't do this all at once if you buy one of these systems. You know, as I said, I've got links down below. I'll link it, worldofcompost.com. But, you really want to make sure that you build up your worm populations before you add a lot of food. Because what you don't want to do is have the food rot before they can eat it. So with that, let's just make sure we got enough paper in here. I'm going to add just a little bit more paper to this. I think it's a little bit thin. I do have some paper over here that I could just sprinkle on. This is dry, not wet, but it's okay. With the extra moisture in the system, this might be okay. Just looks a little thin in some areas. There we go. All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and cover this system back up. I'm not going to add the trap back in because it's pretty full. I think the trap's going to be right along the surface here. So this is only about 3 inches or so. On the side here, it's only about 3 inches. So we're just going to go ahead and cover this back up. And I might check on it in a week. And if it's fallen down, I'll add the trap back in. But until then, we're going to go ahead and leave it off. So that's my update for this week. Thank you for watching. And hopefully we'll come back again. I want to try to get this a little bit sooner. I know it's been 17 days this time, but maybe next time try to get it at that 14-day mark, the 2-week mark, and see if we can add more food then. So with that, if you have any questions, please let me know down below, and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.